What's good with y'all? We got another cartel video, bro. I know y'all love these videos, bro, so I'm ready to keep doing them. And we ready to look at the most dangerous hitman in the cartels, bro. Let's see what he talking about. Oh, I seen him before.
Jose Manuel Martinez has lived a life that will send shivers down the spine of even the most hardened criminals. In his hands lie the death of over 30 men. Carrying out the evil deeds of some of the most brutal cartel leaders, Jose took lives like they meant nothing. He earned the nickname El Mano Negra, the Black Hand.
That's crazy.
Is the life of the most dangerous cartel hitman ever.
You can't imagine what people have told me when they hired me to go and kill a person for them. After I get paid, they told me, you know what, Martinez? I feel a weight has lifted from my heart.
How?
Life for Jose Manuel Martinez started out very normal. He was born in 1962 in Tulare County, California, to farm worker parents from Mexico. Nestled in the heart of California,
I seen him before, but I thought he was born in Mexico. I thought he was like
shadows on the landscape.
Mexican. I didn't know he was Mexican American.
But no sooner had Jose learned to walk, his parents moved the family to Sinaloa, Mexico.
Oh, so he actually did grow up in Mexico. I already said I knew he grew. I knew he had some going on in Mexico.
Into a life of crime.
After I learned to walk and talk, we moved to Cozala, Sinaloa. Okay.
Jose and his siblings spent part of their childhood in Mexico, near the town of Cozala, in the remote, cool mist of the Sierra Madre, the mountain range that runs through the state of Sinaloa.
Powerful.
I said, if you don't know, that's El Chapo shit. That's El Chapo cartel.
70% of the world is infected by this cartel.
The Sinaloa cartel is often described as the largest and most powerful drug trafficking organization in the Western Hemisphere, and Jose was in the thick of it. Life in Sinaloa for Jose's family was marked by poverty. Though Jose was young at the time, so he didn't know it. He knew there was very little food to eat, but he got to run free in the fields and play with kids his age. Life couldn't have been better for him. Then at the age of 11, his family moved back to California, and that's when the once happy kid began to get a taste of crime.
That's crazy. You know how, like, Mexicans, they moved to America for a better life, you feel me? He lived in America, moved back to Mexico, and then moved back to Cali, and that's where it started. That's crazy. He probably had been doing the same, you feel me, in Mexico, but moving back to Cali.
I remember that people were making fun of me because I didn't know how to speak English.
Because Jose had moved back to Mexico with his family when he was little, he never got to learn English. So when his family moved back to the U.S., the kids in his class didn't let him forget it. They found the perfect target to torture, and they didn't hold back. Jose felt the brunt of
it. Be mean because he don't speak the same language you speak.
He prayed his family would move back to Sinaloa where he could be happy again. But he soon realized that wasn't going to happen, and he began plotting his first attempt at revenge.
So I told my mom I was going to kick this kid because he said I should go back to Mexico. Okay, that I don't belong in the United States.
Life in California was not much different from life in Sinaloa.
And then we moved to Early Mark, and the same shit happened.
On top of getting bullied, Jose found out that his parents would be separating. His parents' separation had a profound impact on Jose in more ways than one. Other than having to get used to his parents not being together, the separation marked the entrance of a figure into Jose's life. This figure would change the course of his life forever.
2 months later, my mom got a new boyfriend.
That's Pedro.
Pedro Fernandez.
Jose's mom met Pedro Fernandez and married him almost immediately. Pedro Fernandez was described as a good man who cared for his family.
What the hell happened to him? Don't tell me he killed him.
Possible. No one
I gotta stop saying that, bro. YouTube be going crazy with the, you feel me?
My stepdad was a dealer.
Jose's mother and stepdad.
You can't say certain things, bro. They don't like it. They don't like it.
Line up work for
I gotta say something else.
He was also a businessman, as Jose put it. That business was heroin. Living with a narcotics dealer marked the beginning of Jose's descent into a life of crime and violence. Before Jose was even out of middle school, Pedro tapped him to run the illicit substance. In the spring of 1976, Jose graduated middle school, and his stepfather decided to test his loyalty. On what was supposed to be his graduation day, Jose was sent on the Greyhound bus to Indio to pick up a package. Now, although Jose knew his stepfather was mixed up in the narco world, he was about to find out just how deep his ties.
So he wasn't even brought up in it for real. It's just like his stepfather, outsider, helped them do. That's why, like, these women nowadays, bro, y'all gotta watch who y'all bring around y'all kids, yo. For real, y'all gotta watch who y'all bring around the kid. Any signs you see that points that this guy is not a good guy to be around your kid, go with it. And that's the same thing with us fellas, bro. Shorty ain't right.
When he met up with the guy he was
kick it
supposed
to the
to pick up
curb,
the
bro. Your
package
kids
from
come
and
first.
handed the package, Jose was curious about what was in it. When I picked up the package, I asked the guy what was in it. He told me it was heroin. I was a kid. I didn't know much about it. Jose was shocked, but he quickly recovered and took the package home. His stepfather was so impressed with him that he decided to send him on more errands. Once he was firmly
he gonna be impressed? He don't know what that's. He thinking you just throwing out random packages.
Small town of Erlenmarkt.
If he knew that was some hard, bro,
move the substance more easily. But in September 1978, Jose's life as he knew it changed. The Drug Enforcement Administration raided the ranch where Martinez lived, seizing $2.5 million worth of narcotics and several firearms.
My stepdad got busted on 78. Okay, I started selling and I was 16 years old.
His stepfather was sent to Lompoc Federal Prison, but after a few years he was released, and Jose noted that he was happy and resumed living his life like nothing had happened. This would give Jose confidence as he moved through the underbelly of crime. But a year after that, tragedy struck the Martinez household, forcing Jose to transition from a life of crime into something much more sinister.
That time, that's when my sister got murdered.
Damn.
He says here, nice place to bury fuckers.
Jose grew up quite close to his family. While he had embarked on a life of crime, his family was very important to him, and he took their protection very seriously, especially after his stepfather went to jail. He was particularly close to his little sister, Cecilia Martinez. And in California, Jose always looked out for Cecilia, making sure she was taking school very seriously and surrounding herself with the right people. And although at that point his family had expanded to include a wife and a child, he was still very close to Cecilia and his mom and would constantly check in on them. But in 1978, the Martinez family experienced a tragedy so chilling, it changed all of their lives forever and set Jose on a path of destruction, a path from which he never looked back.
So when he told me, hey bro, can you take me to Indio to meet this guy? I said, sure, sister, why not? And I took my sister to this little house.
Jose took his sister to her friend's house as she requested, dropped her off, and drove away. He never went in to make sure she was okay. Because she was at a friend's house, Jose thought she would be fine.
Right.
Little did he
I understand
know that was the last time he would ever see his little sister.
Okay, months passed by and she never came home.
Months passed
At this
by,
point,
bro.
Jose knew something had gone terribly wrong. It was very unlike his sister to be away from home for months on end.
Months on end? What the how old is she, bro? Like, what are you talking? Months, hours, days, bro? Like, is this a norm that she stand there for months, bro? Because I don't hear back from my sister. First of all, I'm calling you, and a couple minutes later, I'm like, yo, you good, boy? Bro.
And his family went to the
Months,
authorities
bro.
to report Cecilia missing, and within a few weeks, the authorities came back with news. Unfortunately, for Jose and his family, it was devastating news.
First, they found her car.
After authorities found Cecilia's car, Jose knew it couldn't be good news.
Then they found her.
Her body had been dumped near Bombay Beach, at the edge of the Salton Sea, the vast, eerie lake
That's
that
crazy.
straddles.
I couldn't even imagine, bro. Like, I ain't got no sister, but I got a bro. Shit like this. I couldn't even imagine, bro. Like, your sibling, bro. Like, somebody who, yeah, they say he grew up. That's going to turn, you're not going to be the same. You either going to go, bro, you're not going to be the same, bro. You either going to go this way or you going to go that way. That way is, you feel me, the BS, you ready to go to war about this. Like, you don't care. This way, all right, it happened. I'm going to try to live through it, take a better route. And now you stuck in the crossroad, bro. And I'm quite sure that's how he felt. And then he was like, nah, we going to go this way, bro. I can't do this, bro.
Real and Riverside counties.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be tearing up the whole
Jose
California,
more than
bro.
anyone, because he had been the one to drive her to the house from which she never returned. He blamed himself and knew he needed to make it right. He started putting a plan to avenge his sister's senseless killing into motion. Jose knew he would be invited to give a statement soon because he was the last person to have seen Cecilia alive. He also knew that if he told the authorities exactly what happened, there was a chance the people who hurt Cecilia would be caught and sentenced to prison. But that wasn't enough for him.
I made a statement because I was the last one who saw her I didn't want to give the full explanation because I want to get them. I didn't want the cops to find them. I want to find them myself.
He wanted them to feel the pain he and his family felt when they were told
I can't even be
Cecilia
mad at you, bro.
had been taken away from them.
I
He
can't
wanted
even be
to
mad at
defend
you.
his sister's
That's
honor.
crazy.
He felt the only way he could do that was to make them pay in his own way. Jose accompanied his distraught mother to the Riverside County Sheriff to make a statement. Unbeknownst to the officers in charge of the case, Jose had left out important details in his statement. Jose immediately began searching for the man that hurt his sister. He enlisted the help of a couple of friends, and before long, they found him.
We went to this little house.
And when Jose came face to face with his sister's killer, he did not hesitate to exact his revenge.
We broke in there, and we found one. There was a dish next to the house, and I buried them.
Probably them
Why
next to
would
the
they
house.
have proper burial? There, let the worm eat them.
And in that moment, after Cecilia's killers had been dumped in the ditch, Jose became a new man. I was a nice man until they killed my sister, and since then, I said f*** the rappers and the child monsters. When my father was in the funeral, I told my dad, I'm gonna get those f***ers. He said, son, let God take care of them. I said, Dad, God ain't gonna do shit. Jose did not feel shame or
See, he
guilt
went
after
that
doing what he
way,
did.
bro.
He
I'm
felt
trying to tell you.
pride. I feel so he never forgot what taking those lives meant for him and his family. And even as his murderous rampage came to an end, and he confessed his deeds to the authorities, he never told anyone the location of those 3 bodies. Those bones, he said, don't deserve to be found. But before that time came, Jose would go on to build a
They
fierce...
still don't know what his mom... That's crazy. They still don't know where these dudes at, bro, after they... And I'm quite sure it been years, bro. That happened when he was young. Like, they still ain't find him, bro. That's crazy.
reputation, striking fear into the hearts of those who heard his name, El Mano Negra.
Oh, Mano Negra. That is crazy. For some reason, yo, everything in Spanish sound hard, bro. I'm sorry.
Jose Martinez wanted to try one last time to live on the straight and narrow. Growing up, he had always wanted to join the Marines. And when he turned 18, he decided to give it a try. He went to Bakersfield to sign up for the Marines. But unfortunately for Jose, he was rejected.
But the stupid son of a didn't accept me because I was a 9th grade dropout.
Despite the rejection, Jose was determined to become a Marine. So he sought out help from one of his relatives, who was a Marine before becoming a correctional officer. But Jose was again met with rejection. Only this time,
Just to think,
by a
bro. If
member
he'd
of
have
his
joined the
family.
Marines, that probably would have changed his life.
After the second rejection, Jose was done. He abandoned his dreams of becoming a Marine, and with it, his hope of keeping on the straight and narrow. He fully embraced a life of crime. On the fateful morning of October 21st, 1980, an unmistakable sense of doom hung heavy in the air as Jose found himself in the passenger seat of his friend's car. Their destination, the unassuming home of David Bedolla, a man whose life was about to take a chilling and irreversible turn. As the first rays of dawn filled the lingering darkness, Jose saw David, accompanied by his wife, coming out of their home. The husband and wife, completely unaware of what lay in wait for them, had their day perfectly planned. They had a grueling day of work waiting for them in the vineyards. Although the work was difficult, it was their only means of sustaining their small family. As they drove in the eerie hush of the early morning, Jose's car trailed behind them on the winding country roads. Just a short distance before they reached their destination, David's car came to an abrupt halt as he intended to pick up another vineyard worker. As he waited for the worker to come out of his house, the tension in the car grew palpable. In a heart-stopping moment, the deafening sounds of gunfire shattered the silence, breaking through the quiet morning with a chilling intensity. Jose had fired his weapon. Bullets whizzed past David's wife before piercing the windshield. Jose had missed. He steadied his nerves before firing again, and this time, he didn't miss. The next set of bullets...
I'm not ready. What the what, bro? Like, I'm assuming from what I'm listening to, right? He's sitting in the car, and Jose popped out, had the strap, Ray. He popped it. They missed. You still sitting there? I'm not ready to sit. The way he making it sound like he boom, reloaded, boom. When I'm quite sure that it happened like that, but that's how this sound, bro.
And it careened uncontrollably uncontrollably off the road, crashing into the vineyard. David's life was taken in an instant. His dreams and aspirations forever silenced. The harrowing question that loomed was, what could have driven Jose to commit this heinous act? The answer lay in the shocking events that had unfolded only a few hours before, as he and a friend aimlessly whiled away their time, drinking the day away. Their casual conversation took a sinister turn, revealing a tale of unimaginable horror. Jose's friend disclosed a bone-chilling secret. His friend informed him out of nowhere that his family had suffered a recent tragedy. His sister had been recently attacked. The revelation sent shivers coursing down Jose's spine, taking him back in an instant to the moment he found out his own sister had been attacked. His friend revealed his dark intentions to him. He wanted to hurt the man who had hurt his sister. He told Jose that his sister had been attacked in Mexico, and he had followed her attacker to California, to the town of Lindsay. Attacker seemed to be living an ordinary life with his wife and young son. This revelation shocked Jose and awakened in him a monster he was desperately trying to put to bed. Despite being only 18 years old, with a family of his own, Jose didn't hesitate to act. I told him I could help him for $500. I felt angry when I heard the word abuse, and $500 were handy. Point and shoot, easy money. On that eerie morning,
this what got him to being a hitman. Really, you feel me?
David Bedola's life.
Now he charging
the punishment he thought was due. Jose was irrevocably drawn into its chilling embrace, and El Mano Negra was born. Jose began his journey as the cold-blooded killer El Mano Negra in September 1982. But before that, in June 1979, in the remote town of La Cofradia, nestled deep within the formidable Sierra Madres, an incident took place that found its way back to Jose Martinez in California. On that fateful day, an unsettling feeling hung in the air as roughly 50 people gathered for a seemingly innocent party.
How many bodies he got, like
often shuttled between Mexico. The party was winding down. A fight over who was dancing with who ensued, and the entire event took a drastic turn. In the shadows, hidden firearms were drawn, and before the night could draw to a close, 4 lives were tragically ended. The aftermath of this horrific event was swift. The families of the dead, united by a shared grief, swearing to exact their revenge. Now fast forward to September 1982, and we find Jose in the quiet town of Erlemart on an ordinary day that would soon be marked by a chilling revelation. A friend, known only as Mr. X, gave Jose a visit, carrying with him grim information that would unleash the wrath of El Mano Negra. Mr. X told Jose that one of the individuals killed in the tragic 1979 fight was, in fact, a relative of Martinez. The chilling revelation didn't end there. Mr. X told an even more sinister secret. 2 of the perpetrators had sought refuge in California, believing they could hide in Santa Barbara County where no one knew them, or so they thought. Armed with this information, Jose began his journey of revenge once again. On October 1st, 1982,
how you know they your family? You didn't know they was your family when? That's where I'm lost at.
The Central Valley. Their destination, the
That's exactly where I'm lost
at. Here, amidst the quiet fields, Jose's relentless quest for vengeance would reach its chilling height. Jose found the man he had been told to look for driving a tractor. He opened fire. Mr. X gave me $2,500. I really didn't want the money. I wanted to be like the same level he was. I wanted to show him what I'm capable of doing. Little did anyone know the pivotal role Mr. X would play in Jose's life. Mr. X
gave
Jose a pager, and he was in
9 times out of 10, his name only Mr. X. That means yo is still alive, bro. He's still alive and nobody know who he's. A secret person. That's why he called Mr. X, bro.
Business. The sinister business.
And I'm quite sure Jose giving his, you feel me, giving this story. That's how they know. He not ready to give that man his name. He probably didn't even know his name. Anybody name Mr. whatever, Mr. J, Mr. D, whatever.
Jose found himself at the heart of a cartel dispute.
They dangerous.
Later, when his pager rang, the message displayed on the tiny screen revealed that Mr. X was in a delicate situation and needed his help with a man who owed him a whopping $95,000. Jose moved quickly, intrigued by the path he was on. By midnight, Jose was in his car, speeding north on Highway 99. He found the debtor and brought him to an empty garage, torturing and threatening him, telling him he was worth the same to him dead or alive. He then gave him a few hours to come up with the money. In no time, the man coughed up the money he owed, and Jose drove straight back to Mr. X to deliver it for his first job as a sicario. Mr. X paid him $30,000. Some of Jose's work as a sicario included threatening and torturing men who owed cartel bosses money in the U.S., and Jose was good at his job. He had steady nerves that served him well, even in the most stressful situations. One such stressful situation came when he was pulled over by an officer on his way back from the job. Jose knew he had to play it cool. Otherwise, the officer would search his car.
Like this is a norm to him. Like
and all manner.
This is how life's supposed to go for him.
The officer told him he was going to bring in the dogs to search the car, and Jose, with a smile on his face, calmly offered to help him search. Seeing Jose so at ease, the officer decided to skip the search. If the dogs had come, Martinez said, they would have found his illegal loot. The more jobs Jose was given, the better he got at it. Jose was not only a good cartel hitman, he was different. He would sometimes commit random acts of violence that had nothing to do with the cartel.
That don't look nothing like Jose, and I doubt that's Jose, bro.
Kindness, like the time he
that man, they keep showing that man. That man don't look nothing like him.
Driveway. But in a moment of weakness, Jose secretly returned the man's car to his house, just in case his family needed it. After a few days and no one had found the man.
Like the time he fired at a man merely for repeatedly parking at his mother's driveway, but in that moment of weakness, Joe is his house just in case the family.
Body. Jose heard that the man's mother was worried.
I heard that his mother became crazy. She wanted her son dead or alive, and I feel sorry for what I did. I say I have a mother too, and I don't want her to be in the same shoes as she is.
He decided to retrieve the body from where he left it and took it to a place it would be found by authorities.
Yo, this
Weeks passed by,
crazy,
and they
bro.
found the body.
Then returned. He returned the call back after he already done smoked the dude who was
the way for his downfall.
Yo, he is crazy, bro.
3 weeks after the attack on David Bedolla, a witness called in with crucial information that would set the authorities on the heels of El Mano Negra. The witness revealed that the murder had been committed by a man named Jose Martinez. He went on to provide specific details about the attack in a way that only a person who saw the whole thing go down would know. The witness claimed the murder was revenge for an attack that took place.
That's somebody he know turned him in, bro. They gave him the name, how it went down. Somebody he know turned him in.
They could never find any other information that connected Jose to the attack, and the witness was not willing to come forward to testify.
Yeah, it's somebody he know.
The authorities had no choice but to drop the case. His name turned up as a source in one murder, and as a presence in the events leading up to another. On several occasions, officers thought he could be the one they were looking for, El Mano Negra, but even then, they could never charge him with murder. In September 2009, Jose brutally attacked a man in Erlemart. Within days, the authorities had learned from the victim's friends that a person known as El Mano Negra had been looking for him and threatening to take him out. Luckily for them, they found a woman who said Jose had attempted to hire her to lure the victim to an isolated place. They finally had the connection they'd been looking for between El Mano Negra and Jose Martinez. The officers found out he had an outstanding warrant for a parole violation and possibly another one for auto theft, and proceeded to arrest him. They arrested Jose on parole violation, but just before they were able to put him in handcuffs, he swallowed his SIM card, so the officers couldn't see his text messages. They tried to replace the SIM card with another one, but the messages were gone.
When you're a dumb cop, you're always going to be a dumb cop. But it's true. Okay.
He did that. Yeah. That's some quick thinking, bro. A lot of people wouldn't even think of that. Like, a lot of people who do, like, crimes, they wouldn't even think of that just to, I'm in the moment. He realized, all right, bet. There you go. Like it wasn't, bro.
Yes, exactly. I never leave evidence.
Jose took a job in Florida. He was to end the life of a man who had stolen from top-ranking cartel members and needed to pay. Jose watched the man for a few days, mapping his routine. When he had all the information
somebody was watching, huh?
He posed as a homeowner in need of masonry work.
He told me that you're a masonry worker, and I want you to come so you can give me an estimate price for my house.
When the man showed up to bid on the job, Jose took him and forced him to hand over the money he stole, which had been buried in his backyard.
They got in, I locked the door. When I turned out, I had my guns out. Motherfucker hit the floor, motherfucker.
Then Jose fired 4 times. He put another 4 bullets into one of his co-workers. Their bodies, wrists bound with zip ties, were left to rot in a Nissan truck parked on a swampy stretch of the road at the edge of the Ocala National Forest. Jose then started the drive to his daughter's home in Alabama. The Florida job had gone without a hitch, or so he thought. It was his granddaughter's birthday. He took her out for
That's
a
one
fun
thing,
day
too, I
in the
remember. He
sun.
loved his granddaughter. Love his
Took him to
granddaughter.
Toys R Us.
He always talked about his granddaughter.
Okay, where a kid can be a kid.
As he had fun with his family, he didn't
It's just
realize
crazy how
that he
she,
left
that's
footprints
like
on the
that's her
Florida
pop
job
pop. She see
that
him
would
as
lead
pop
the
pop.
authorities
You feel
straight
me?
to
Like,
him. Back in
and
Florida,
this
Detective
dude on the
Inspector
other,
Levick's
that is
truck
crazy.
found a can of Mountain Dew in the center console. They emptied it and found a cigarette butt, which they bagged and tagged into evidence and sent it off to the crime lab for testing. That
Came back
cigarette
to
butt
him.
would come back positive for Jose's fingerprints, setting the stage.
They
for
always
his
get their
arrest.
self caught.
But when officers brought him in
Always.
for questioning on why a California man's fingerprints were found on a crime scene in Florida, what they heard was a confession that sent chills down their
I
spine.
knew he was caught.
After Jose was brought in, they told him they had DNA evidence for the Florida murders. The officers expected Jose to stall a little and send them on a wild goose chase. But what he did next shocked
You knew he
them.
was caught.
At that moment, Jose seemed to
You got
make a
DNA
decision.
evidence?
You guys have been real respectful to me, and I appreciate that.
He probably
You
remember.
want me to
He
tell you the
knowing
truth?
him, bro.
The officers and
Honestly, knowing him, he probably remembered everything he did and probably forgot. He's like, damn, I forgot that cigarette in the thing. I'm quite sure he remembered that, bro. That's why he's like, yeah, I'm
enthusiastically
caught.
nodded.
Let
Yeah,
me tell you
I
this,
killed
bro.
that son of a bitch. Upon further questioning, Jose dropped a shocking bombshell on them.
Could you tell us how many people you killed?
About 36 people.
Jose confessed to over 9 murders, giving detailed descriptions of the crime scene and the number of bullets used. He
See?
said there
They
were some
remember
things in
all of that.
California that he wanted to get off his chest as well. He asked the detectives to help him contact the sheriff's deputy from Tulare County. He confessed to them that he was a cartel hitman. Jose Martinez was arrested and charged with several murders in many counties across the United States. Jose confessed because he was tired of running and constantly looking over his shoulder, and he knew he would not have been able to stop on his own.
Once a thief, always a thief. They say once a gangster, always a gangster. Once a killer, always a killer.
Look at that, y'all next one, bro. Y'all be safe, be careful. Yeah, let me know if y'all want to see more of these. I'm quite sure y'all do, and I'm going to do something. Yeah, Nazo out.